Hi folks, Van Prepper here. I wanted to do a video on a sampling of my Mosin Nagant collection. This first rifle is, as you can see, a very nice refurb 9130. The refurbished rifles the Russians made, I mean, they really are the best deal going in military surplus. You get such a beautiful rifle that still has a lot of history in it for such a low price. This particular model is a 1942 Ishevsk or Izhevsk manufacture. There's really nothing extraordinary about it other than it's one of 17 million. There is the refurbished mark on the stock. It's like most Mosin Nagants, it's a good shooter, a lot of fun. There are a stripper clip with the 7.62 by 54 surplus rounds. Anybody who owns and shoots Mosin Nagants knows a thing or two about shooting most likely those corrosive surplus rounds. You got to clean your rifle right away, but you also know how inexpensive they are. The next rifle is the first Mosin Nagant I ever owned. It is a beautifully refurbished M44. I got this particular rifle and a rifle case, a plastic rifle case, and the normal accessory pack, the sling and the oil and solvent can, and the toolkit for $99 out the door about 5 years ago, and these things are going for about $250 right now. This is a 1944 Ishevsk manufacture or refurb. I'm sure under the stock here it has a refurb mark, although I didn't want to take this off because it's kind of a pain to get it back on. More of the Russian surplus ammunition. You'll see that the M44s are shorter, different than the 9130s, which are very long rifles. And as a matter of fact, to put them in my gun case, I had to remove the ammo shelf at the top in order to get all the 9130s in my safe. You'll also notice that the bayonet on the 9130, I did not show the bayonet. That's a separate piece bayonet that fastens on. These bayonets on the M44, the carbine version, pull this down, slide it around, and it slides right over the end of the barrel and stays right there. These look just to be brutal weapons. I can't imagine charging somebody down in a war and shanking them with that. I can't imagine that would be fun at all. I really enjoy all the carbine versions of the Mosin Nagant variants, but the M44 has a special place in my heart because it was the first rifle, the first Mosin Nagant rifle that I ever got. This rifle here is probably my favorite Mosin Nagant. It is a Chinese Type 53. It is gouged and dinged and dented and busted up. I have to keep this stock very heavily oiled. It just was so dried out, and so it just seemed, I don't know if it actually is in any more danger or more brittle than any other stocks, but it just seemed that way, so I oil these stocks very regularly on the Type 53s. You'll see that it is almost exactly the same as the M44. This particular rifle, the reason it is probably my favorite is, as you can see right here, in addition to the really cool marks and gouges, this has what I believe to be actual field repair. From a field of battle, a soldier had to repair this, and the stock was splitting right down the side here, and there are several nails going right out through the stock holding it together. I don't know for sure that this was done in battle, but I assume that it was. These rifles were not refurbished like the Russian versions of these. These rifles were actually manufactured in Russia for the Chinese. This is, I believe, a 1955. I'm not sure of the factory of origin, but this rifle just has a lot of character. These Chinese Type 53s can be so ugly when you first get them because we've been spoiled so much by the other Mosin Nagant rifles that we forget what a military surplus rifle is supposed to look like, and we don't appreciate the character, and we can really dislike them. But I actually have come to really love these rifles. This is my nicest Chinese Type 53. The stock is in much better shape than most Type 53s that I've run across, and it's definitely in better shape than the other Type 53s that I ordered along with this one. I got a great deal on Southern Ohio Gun. They were $99 or $94 a piece if you ordered 3 or more. So I took up that offer and ordered more than 3, and they are each beautiful in their own way. I really view these Chinese Type 53 rifles like a pug dog. Initially you just think, wow, these things are ugly. But after you spend some time handling them and looking at the different marks on them, they become really cute, really beautiful. I enjoy these rifles immensely. They are so much fun to shoot, just like the M44 is just so much fun to shoot. I've never shot an M38 or an M59, but I assume the M38s and the M59s are the same way, although I've heard the M59s are even more accurate than the other carbines, because they are cut down versions of the 9130s, and just that I've heard they're very good shooters, but I've had no problems, no complaints at all about any of the Type 53s I've gotten. Some have taken, this particular one over here that we looked at with the nails in the stock took a lot more work to get it cleaned up and ready, and getting the bore cleaned out. Took a couple of good bore blasts and a lot of work. As you can see, these don't think I've done anything to these. These are just very oiled up stocks. I keep the Type 53s just very oiled all the time, and you're getting a glare because there's a light right up here. But these are just really, I appreciate and enjoy all the Mosin Nagant variants, and I say every one that I'm holding is the one that's my favorite probably. These things, anybody who's shot the carbines knows what an awesome boomstick these things can be, and the attention you get at the range. I mean, people they want to know what you got. Some people get really annoyed with them. People who don't appreciate military surplus rifles, or just really don't like the amount of noise they make, or the muzzle flash. I mean, you look up some of the videos on shooting these things at night, and the muzzle flash in these things is ridiculous. I am Van Prepper. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you think about Mosin Nagants and the different variations. I'd love to see some videos of what you guys have. I'm Van Prepper. Happy shooting.